H3, please. Have I said you could go? Has the bell gone? Sit down, please. That's better. We've still got 5 minutes to go, and I have an important announcement to make. Now then, this year we've been doing a course in human biology. What does that mean, Patterson?
How the body works, doesn't it, miss?
Right. We've done...
Muscles, bones, circulation of the blood.
Yes, yes. Now, can anyone think of a very big and important area that we haven't covered?
Brain surgery?
Don't be silly, Stuart. I'm thinking of a subject, H3, without which none of us would be here at all. The human race wouldn't exist.
Are you talking about God, miss? Making
No, Cartwright. Do think. This is biology. Come on, class, wake up. The reproductive system. Yes, reproductive system.
What's that?
Quiet, H3. This is not a laughing matter. Over the next few weeks, we'll be discussing how the human body creates new life. Something which is at once miraculous, joyous, and very beautiful.
Kiss, kiss, love.
Who said that? Can anyone tell me what is so funny about the human reproductive system? Well, yes, you see, there's absolutely nothing funny about it. And if I find you can't approach this subject sensibly, I shall just have to tell Mrs. McCluskey that you aren't old enough yet. Is that clearly understood?
Please, miss, do you mean that we'll be learning sort of the facts of life?
I prefer to see it in a wider context, Claire, as a natural part of our human biology syllabus. We'll be looking at the human egg and how it's... You are all being rather silly, aren't you?
Please, miss. I thought we did the facts of life in RE, not biology.
This is a new course, Dwayne, which Mrs. McCluskey's just introduced into the curriculum. And I have some notes here for your parents. Stebson, pass these round quickly before the bell goes. It describes the course and the areas we'll be covering. And there's a tear-off slip at the bottom, which you must return to your form tutor as soon as possible, saying whether your parents are willing for you to attend the classes or not.
The course will include male and female anatomy.
Please, miss, what's the difference between boys and girls?
The reproductive process, pregnancy and childbirth.
Poor old Mrs. Thomas. She's really got it landed now, hasn't she?
Can't you just hear her?
Yeah, red as a beetroot. She goes it ever so easy, Miss Thomas.
Well, at least she's married. I mean, she must know what she's talking about. Well, I suppose she must.
Just imagine if old Mooney was doing it.
Oh,
It'd be hopefully.
Shh, listen. Sex education in the fullest sense, aimed at fostering mature and sensible attitudes towards human relationships, blah, blah, blah. Plus, a full discussion of moral and ethical aspects to be taken by...
Mrs. McCluskey herself.
That will be about boyfriends and stuff, I suppose.
Oh, anyway, my parents told me all that already. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye.
My parents never told me nothing. So although I know it all, I might not. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I think these classes are a good thing.
Yeah, so do I. Really interesting.
Only, oh Lord, I don't know what my grand's gonna say. That's all, I just don't know what she's gonna say when she reads this.
And you're gonna take that note home with you, Gripper?
No point. Kid stuff.
If you don't get signed, you won't be late going to lessons, I shouldn't think.
So?
It's quite interesting. Ain't you read it?
Look, you. Don't bother with notes, son. See? Neither does me mum. She just chucks them in the blooming bin. What was it about, anyway?
You know what Mrs. Thomas said about in class.
Oh, that. Why are you so interested, anyway, Pogo? One look at your face and any girl'd run 100 miles.
Quite useful general knowledge anyway.
Yeah, if you're a girl. But I don't have to worry, do I? I mean, I'm not planning on having any babies. And neither's little Matthew here. Are you, eh?
What?
Planning on having any babies. I suppose you do know the facts of life. Birds and the bees.
Of course I do.
Go on then, tell us.
No, I won't.
You're blushing. You're going all red.
I'm not.
I'll leave him alone, Gripper.
Where did Mummy get you from then, Cartwright? The stalk?
Shut up, shut up.
Or from under the gooseberry bush?
Yes. Oh, no. Oh, no, God, I think his mum got it from under a gooseberry bush. No, I don't.
Let's face it, Cartwright. You're ignorant.
Look, my dad says he's going to tell me everything properly when I'm a bit older.
Look, you bring me 20p tomorrow, right, and I'll tell you all about it. Because you can't go on like this, can you?
Leave go.
In the garden, first break tomorrow. Uncle Gripper will tell you all about it, all right?
Cheerio there.
Oh, Mr. Hopwood, just a moment. A quick word in your ear. I gave H3 the sex education note this afternoon. You know the one I mean?
Oh, yes.
Well, I asked them to give the completed slips in to you. I hope that's all right.
Yes, fine.
Because if they had to wait until next biology lesson, they'd lose them, you see.
Right, well, I'll collect them up. No hassle, Mrs. T.
I only hope there's no trouble from the parents. I mean, to be quite honest, I don't really see eye to eye with Mrs. McCluskey on this. As I said to her, they're still at the giggling stage.
Oh, surely not.
Well, they are, Mr. Hopwood. Quite frankly, I'm dreading the whole thing.
Still hanging about, Stebson. Can't seem to get rid of you tonight, can we?
Don't stand just behind me when I'm reading, Matthew. It's rather irritating.
Sorry.
Well, run along then.
I've got this note. I wondered if you wanted me to do it or not.
Yes, that's all right.
What is it, dear?
It's a note about human reproduction in biology.
Pass me my pen, Matthew. I'll sign it, shall I? I must say Mrs. McCluskey seems to be making some very sensible changes in that school, doesn't she?
We never had any of this in the third year. Except a crummy little bit in RE. But nobody listened to that anyway, because the teacher was such a joke.
Here you are, Matthew. Give it in tomorrow.
But
But what? Go on, Mummy's signed it.
couldn't you say you don't want me to do it?
Don't want you to do it.
Well, I'd rather do proper biology.
What do you mean proper biology? That's proper biology, isn't it?
I mean plants and stuff.
Blimey, Matthew, you're not embarrassed, are you? You really are wet sometimes.
Shh, Pamela. Of course he isn't embarrassed, are you, Matthew?
No. It'll just be a hopeless class, that's all. Everybody'll giggle.
You see, he is embarrassed. I told you he was.
Pamela!
Leave him alone and get on with your homework.
Please, miss. I gave that note to my parents.
Yes, Patterson. You have brought the slip back, have you? Just give it to Mr. Hopwood, like I told you.
No, they said that first they wanted none. I using a book or anything, so they can have a look at it and see if it's suitable.
Yes, we are using a book, Patterson. A book and a film. They go together, you see. Here it is. The Wonder of Life, it's called. It's a very clear, practical sort of book, you can tell them, and I'm very happy with it. But, of course, if they have any worries at all, they're absolutely at liberty to come in and inspect it for themselves. That goes without saying, all right?
I'll tell them.
Morning, everyone. Sit down, please.
Morning, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll sit back signed by my mum. No, permission for me to have sex education.
Mrs. Thomas's biology lesson?
Oh, yes. Hand them in quickly, then, please.
My mum didn't object, sir.
Well, I hope not, Suzanne.
Well, I told her. There's no use in objecting, because she never told me nothing. Someone's got to, haven't they, sir?
I imagine so, Suzanne.
Because otherwise I could get it all wrong. Out of dirty books and that.
Quite, Suzanne, yes. Good point. Now, would you like to sit down so I can take registration? Have you got your slip, Claire?
Oh, no, sir, not yet.
Sit down. Abbott! Cartwright! Farmer! Hutchinson! Jones! Matthews! Naylor?
Sir.
Orpington! Patterson! Patterson?
What? Here, you two, well, look at this. It's got really disgusting pictures. What is it? Sex education book. I nicked it off Mrs. Thomas. Go on, have a look. 10p I'm charging. 10p? 5p then for 5 minutes with it.
You must be joking. That's the one Mrs. Thomas is going to use. We're going to see it anyway.
I'm just not interested.
What's going on here? Oh, no, Cartwright. Looking at porno books now?
That's mine.
You're not so fast. I was just looking for you. Remember?
No?
In the garden. What a short memory you got.
You're Claire Scott's mother, H3.
That's right.
And you've come about our programme of sex education.
Yes. I think I ought to make it clear from the outset. My husband and I have strongly held beliefs.
Yes. This is the book we'll be using, Mrs. Scott. I think you'll be reassured if you look through it. It's quite straightforward.
I dare say it is, but that's not the point. My husband and I feel that she shouldn't be doing this sort of thing at all at school. It's the wrong place for it. She should be told about it at home, from us, and at the right time. I mean, Claire is only 14, Mrs. McCluskey. You're forcing her to grow up too fast.
I really don't think so, Mrs. Scott.
Well, for instance, is the importance of marriage going to be stressed in all this?
Our whole aim is to encourage a responsible and mature attitude
What about
towards...
morality? Are all these things going to be covered? Or is some trendy young teacher going to tell Claire a whole lot of things she doesn't need to know and encourage the girls towards promiscuity?
Our teacher, Mrs. Scott, is a most respected member of the staff, I do assure you. Look, why don't you take the book home and have a good look at it? And if after that you still don't want Claire to join in the classes, then of course she needn't. It's your decision.
And this is the syllabus exactly, is it?
Yes.
You see, I know my Claire, Mrs. McCluskey. She's young and idealistic and very innocent. And I don't want her to be spoiled. Not just yet.
Hey, girls, want to look at this?
What's that?
I nicked it off Mrs. Thomas. It's the book she's going to use to teach us about the facts of life.
So what?
It's got really good pictures in. And I'll show you them for a penny a look.
Flipping it, Pogo, why don't you just grow up? Such a stupid attitude. You're like a kid of A, ain't he? Pathetic.
It's the book she's going to use, and it's got
pictures of the human body in. Oh, wow, Pogo, big deal.
Oh, shut up.
Look, take the book back to Mrs. Thomas and grow up a bit, right?
Cartwright? Well, get up, lad. What's the matter with you?
I can't, sir.
Where are your trousers?
Up there, sir.
I don't suppose you put them up there yourself, did you?
No, sir.
No, sir. Here you are. Put them on and cover your modesty and stop sniffing.
Yes, sir.
Somebody been playing jokes on you, have they?
Yes, sir.
No, Cartwright, you ought to learn to stick up for yourself, lad. People have been chucking your trousers in trees all your life.
Yes, sir.
Look, son, if somebody has a go at you, don't just stand there, no matter how big they are. Give them some back, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Now I want a penny to see them all. Come on. Go on, give us a penny.
That's not worth
One more
it.
flash. One more flash. You got to give us a penny. Look at that. Right, come on, the
Come
penny.
on, you lot, out of it. All of you. No, not you, Patterson.
Gut's sake, Patterson?
No, sir.
No, so you normally stand like that, do you?
What?
Come on.
You've got a dirty mind, haven't you, Patterson?
No, sir.
Showing this to the first years, were you?
Oh, no, sir.
And charging them for it, I don't doubt.
Only a penny a look, sir. Honest.
Penny a look. What a right little nasty you are, Patterson. Ain't getting boys to strip off their trousers in the garden. Do you charge them for that, too?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I do. I had to get up in the tree and bring them down. Don't bother to lie to me, Patterson. Right. You report to Mr. Hopwood and tell him I sent you. And you tell him the truth, because I'll be explaining it all to him later. Now, shift.
Mum? You promised you wouldn't come.
I didn't promise, Claire.
Yes, you did. I won't trust you again.
Your father and I have every right to ask about your education, particularly where it's something as important as this.
This is the most embarrassing thing you've ever done. I suppose he said I can't go to the classes.
I've said I'll think about it. I've said I don't think it's a suitable subject for the school curriculum.
And where else am I going to learn it? You don't tell me, do ya?
Claire, darling, I'm not going to talk about this now. Here. These things are to be talked about quietly, in the privacy of our own home.
Oh, stop it.
Claire.
Here, listen. What's this outbreak of sex mania in H3? Can't you keep them under control?
I beg your pardon?
Haven't you seen Patterson yet?
No? Why, what's up?
Well, I seem to spent most of the day sorting out H3's grubby little problems.
Oh, come on, Jeff, what are you talking about?
Well, for a kick-off, I find Cartwright over in the garden crying his eyes out minus his trousers.
Minus his trousers?
I had to go up in tree and bring him down.
Oh.
And then I find Patterson over in the bike shed showing the first years this so-called biology book and charging them a penny a look.
Oh, no.
And then to crown it all, I'm cornered by Anita Unsworth's grandmother.
Anita's gran? Don't tell me you've actually seen her.
I've spent the last half hour with her. She was explaining to me that Anita is a good girl and she wants her to stay that way. Well, as far as I'm concerned, she can. Anyway, she gave me this long letter for you. Oh, by the way, next time you decide to teach H3 the facts of life, let me know. I'll take the day off.
You had a good day at school, Matthew?
Yes, thanks. I must say you've been rather down the last few days, darling. Is anything the matter? No.
Come on, Matthew. Something's the matter, isn't it? Is it your schoolwork? Well, what is it, then?
Come on, darling. You can tell us. What was that book you were looking at when we came in?
Go away, leave me alone.
A medical encyclopedia? Whatever were you looking up, dear? Isn't this the thing I signed the other day? Why haven't you handed it in?
Because I don't want to go to the classes, that's why. I told you I didn't. They're all laughing at me about it, so I don't want to go.
Laughing at you?
Yes, because I'm not normal.
Not normal? Whatever do you mean?
Gripper said so. He said I'll never grow up like other boys. And I've looked it up in that book. I never will.
Oh, come on, darling. This is absolute nonsense.
It isn't. It isn't. I looked it up in the book. I'm not normal.
Matthew, calm down. What exactly did this boy say to you?
I'm not going to tell you. It's too embarrassing.
I've never heard such nonsense in my life. And don't get me wrong, Mrs. McCluskey. I'm not against sex education. Far from it. I simply feel that where Matthew's class is concerned, the school hasn't handled things well enough. It's allowed things to get out of hand. The sort of experiences Matthew's had simply shouldn't happen in a well-run school.
I'm very glad you've told me about them.
And I don't want Matthew questioned. I don't even want him to know that I've been here to see you, because he's very embarrassed about the whole thing. But I do want these bullies dealt with, and promptly. Matthew's a sensitive boy. And teasing like this could give him hang-ups for life.
And he didn't give you their names?
Well, he wouldn't. I think there were two of them, though.
From his own form?
I think so, yes.
Did he mention the name Stebson?
No.
Or Gripper?
Yes. Yes, I remember that one.
Hello, Janet. Could you find Mr. Hopwood for me, please? Thank you. I can't tell you how sorry I am about all this, but rest assured we shall get to the bottom of it.
I hope so.
I'll let you know, of course, once we've sorted things out. And, as for the classes themselves?
Matthew must attend them, naturally.
So, as you can see, there's been a big response to the note you all took home, both from parents and from some of you children, too. As a result of this response, I've decided to invite your parents to a discussion evening so that they can put forward their points of view and learn what the course is all about. Now, various ideas and opinions have already been put to me, and I should like your views on them, because, of course, if everybody feels that the course is wrong as it is, then I'm prepared to make changes. Now, the first criticism is that it comes too early in the school curriculum. In other words, it should be delayed until the 5th year.
Please, miss, who do you think we are? A bunch of primary school kids.
I mean, it would be pointless to wait until the 5th year.
We'll all be busy with O-levels and CSCs then.
Any views from the boys?
Well, I think this course should have started in the first year.
Yeah, so do I. Because we grow up faster these days, miss.
And please, miss, by the 5th year, it's too late. We'd be 16. We could already be married, even.
So the general opinion is that you wouldn't want this part of the curriculum delayed until the 5th year?
No.
Right. Well, the second idea that parents have put to me is that we should educate boys and girls separately.
Why?
Well, because girls and boys develop at different rates and have different problems and experiences. For instance, one parent pointed out that a boy might be embarrassed to talk about his voice breaking in front of a girl.
That's rubbish. I mean, it's natural, isn't it? Why should we get embarrassed about it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Of course we've got to learn about it together.
I mean, after all, we'll have to do it together. I mean, the way I see it, Mrs., that all us kids want sex education. It's just the parents that are making the big fuss. Don't you agree?
We're really interested, miss. And not in a silly way either.
Right, H3. So can Mrs. Thomas and I take it that you're happy with the way things are?
Yes, miss.
Stepson and Patterson, I'd like to see you in my office at break.
Please, miss, I didn't have nothing to do with taking that book.
Quiet. Despicable behaviour. Encouraging first years to look at the pictures as though there's something smutty about it.
But it wasn't me.
Don't you think it shows a pretty immature attitude on both your parts? Patterson?
Don't know.
And not content with that, you decide to make Cartwright's life a misery.
No, miss!
Knowing that he's a sensitive sort of boy, you decide to play on his shyness to extort money.
I didn't have anything to do with Cartwright's trousers.
And furthermore, Mr. Hopwood tells me that neither of you brought back the slips from your parents. Why is that? I'm waiting.
I didn't give the note to my parents.
Stepson?
Lost it, miss.
I see, so neither of you showed the note to your parents.
My mum only would have laughed.
See that they both have a fresh copy to take home, would you? Theft, bullying, lying, extorting money. Put like that, your behaviour doesn't sound very nice, does it?
No, miss.
Does it?
No, miss.
Your dad came to complain, didn't he? Same as my mum did.
No, that's about something else.
Oh, anyway, I got round my parents all right. I just told them it's my life, not theirs. You know what I mean?
Yes, suppose so.
I just can't seem to feed the reel in. This thing here seems to be stuck. Children, I'm just having a little trouble getting the film into the projector. So, would you look at the worksheets I've given you? Read them quietly to yourselves.
This is boring. Wish I was with the others.
Your gran, was it?
Yeah, stop my pure mind contaminated by filth or something stupid like that.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, what about you? Was it your mum and dad?
Didn't give the note to them, did I?
Why not?
Filled it in, forced the signature, said they disapproved of me doing it.
Why?
No point in doing a lesson you don't have to do, is there?
Yeah, but, well, it would have been interesting. And anyway, we got all this work. And don't you want to learn about that sort of thing?
Not really.
Pogo Patson, you've gone all red.
We'd better make a start without the film. Stepson, start reading, will you? From your worksheet, wake up, top of the first page.
Poverty. Between the ages of 11 to 13 for girls and 12 to 15 for boys, huge changes take place in their bodies. In the public region...
Read it properly, Stepson, for goodness sake.
In the public region...
Look at what you're reading. Look at the words. Are you illiterate, boy?
No, miss.
Well, then read it properly.
In the public region...
Stepson! Oh, Mr. Hopwood, it's the projector. I just can't seem to get the film in properly.
That's great, that is. Big fuss about sex education, notes home, discussions, dramas.
Projector breaks down.
A crummy old worksheet.
Read out by an idiot.
Who can hardly read anyway.
And Mrs. Thomas in a mood.
Oh well. Just business as usual, really, isn't it?